All right, let's dive into this one. The Emerald Tablet, ancient, mysterious, and loaded with meaning. It's said to have originated in Egypt, but its dense wisdom, that's influenced thinkers across centuries, particularly through Hermeticism. And central to it all is that iconic line, as above, so below. It's one of those phrases that feels simple.
Yeah, but it's endlessly complex. It encapsulates that universal law of interconnectedness, doesn't it? Whatever exists on a grand scale, macrocosm reflected on the microcosm. It's not just philosophy, though. This framework has filtered into disciplines like alchemy, metaphysics, even modern holistic practices.
Exactly. And as someone who's seen the chaos of fight clubs in Bangkok basements, I've lived that interconnectedness. I mean, in Muay Thai, especially underground, you realize combat isn't about brute force. It's this kind of strategic interplay, this fluidity, and that mirrors life. You're always balancing, adjusting, almost
like embodying the as above, so below philosophy in motion, the physical dance of combat mapping onto the mental chess game playing out simultaneously. Martial arts is a perfect example. Even Hapkido, which I practice, leans into the redirection of energy. It's not about overpowering your opponent, but aligning with their movement, mirroring their intent back at
yeah.
them.
And isn't that the beauty of the principle, though? Beyond fighting, it's life itself. Personal growth mirrors universal cycles. I remember this one fighter, he had this mantra scrawled on the wall, something like, bring clarity to chaos or chaos will consume you. And that stuck with me because in that ring,
You're both creating chaos and controlling it. That's profoundly hermetic. And alchemy, it takes this notion even further. Think of the search for prima materia, this supposed base substance shaping everything in existence. The Emerald Tablet essentially gives you a recipe for understanding existence's deeply interconnected layers.
you just dropped prima materia like it's nothing. But yeah, it ties back to that idea of everything being a reflection, right? Even when I'm documenting conflicts or training, the parallels are there. How people act in survival mode isn't disconnected from their values or stories. It's all intertwined, you know?
Absolutely. It's a lens for understanding conflicts, internal or external, but also transitions. That fighter training in Bangkok, do you think he understood that physical struggle as part of a deeper transformative story? Because that's where it all comes together. As above, so below. That transformation occurs at every level.
Right? But not everyone sees it or they don't realize it until they're right in the middle of it. It's a lesson that's forced on you sometimes. Like when you're, and isn't that kind of the essence of alchemy too? People always think lead into gold, bubbling flasks, and dark basements, but it's really about transformation, like evolving your soul through challenges. Those moments where struggle forces you to see things differently, to change, almost like turning lead, your own burdens, into something golden.
Exactly. Alchemy isn't just about the physical process, it's about transmuting the self. It's no coincidence that the phrase, as within, so without, resonates with it. This journey of taking something base, either literally or metaphorically, and refining it into something pure, enlightened gold.
Right. And it's not like you snap your fingers and bam, you're evolved. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. I think of all those fighters I've trained with battling their own limits, their egos, their doubts. That's the alchemy, the struggle.
That's exactly it. In Hapkido, for instance, every technique is built on fluid motion, embracing the energy of your opponent, molding it rather than resisting. It's a constant reminder that transformation demands fluidity, rigidity, both mentally or physically. It's counterproductive to growth.
Oh, absolutely. It's almost poetic. I've seen fighters who, start with anger, just raw emotional rage, and somewhere along the way they refine that into precision, control. It's like,
Alchemy in motion. And this isn't a modern revelation either. Renaissance alchemists like Paracelsus, they understood this deeply, combining scientific curiosity with spiritual inquiry.
Paracelsus, bold guy. He wasn't afraid to piss people off either, mixing science and mysticism like some sort of rebel. But, he believed that healing wasn't just about the body. There's always a bigger picture, a whole system that needs harmony.
which is eerily similar to what martial arts teaches, whether it's coordinating breath with movement or understanding an opponent's intent. The physical and spiritual are inseparably linked, and the alchemists, they weren't just scribbling formulas, they were proposing this holistic harmony of body, mind, and spirit.
It's wild how those Renaissance thinkers were like ahead of their time, mixing mysticism, science, philosophy. It was all interconnected, kind of like what we're realizing again now, which makes you wonder.
How much we've forgotten in our rush to modernity, because this isn't about lead and gold. It's a blueprint for transformation on every level: personal, spiritual, even societal.
Speaking of interconnected ideas, the Emerald Tablet comes to mind. All its cryptic wisdom feels like it belongs to some lost age, right? And hear me out, it's insanely relevant today. The principles like the macrocosm and microcosm totally map onto fields like AI or cognitive science. It's kind of wild when you think about it.
It really is. Take artificial intelligence, for example. There's this uncanny parallel. AI operates in layers, mapping patterns within data, almost as if it creates a reflection of the world, the macrocosm in its microcosmic algorithms. It's an echo of Hermetic thought, a recursive network of as above, so below principles.
Exactly. And think about the psychology behind it, how our own minds function, building models of reality based on experience. It's like we're living versions of this concept ourselves. We process the scale of the world by finding patterns, mirrors, and sometimes chaos.
Chaos and the urge for order, those are key, aren't they? Even the Emerald Tablet hints at this dynamic. In Hermeticism, transformation isn't a straight line, it's cyclical, much like the reinforcement learning systems in AI or the way humans confront challenges. It's all iteration, cycles of refinement.
And what's crazy is how it applies to daily life, like we're constantly learning, adapting, rewriting ourselves through experience. I mean, whether I'm documenting something intense or.
Or training in martial arts, it all comes back to those cycles. Growth doesn't happen in a vacuum, it mirrors those bigger universal truths: balance, adaptation, reflection. It's all interconnected.
Yep, full circle. And it's not just humans either. Look at technology, how it's reshaping us. On one hand, you've got AI becoming this mirror of our collective actions and biases. On the other hand, we're adapting to it, evolving in tandem. It's kind of a feedback loop, like a dance we're all part of.
A dance of co creation, really. But it also makes you question how conscious we are of it. The Emerald Tablet's lessons are reminders of interconnectedness and accountability, of recognizing the impact of small actions rippling outward. That's as relevant now as it's ever been.
Totally. It's philosophical, sure, but also practical. If we start thinking in terms of macrocosm and microcosm, maybe, just maybe, we'd be better at tackling some of the messes we've created, particularly with technology and human interaction.
That's the hope, isn't it? That by revisiting these age old principles, we rediscover something intrinsic to us, kind of unifying thread connecting ancient wisdom to modern transformation.
And maybe even beyond that, transforming how we see ourselves and the world around us. Honestly, it's profound and kind of humbling.
It is. And on that note, bringing this full circle seems fitting. The Emerald Tablet continues to resonate precisely because it speaks to universal truths, truths that remain at the heart of both the mysteries we chase and the solutions we seek.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. Hopefully, the next time you see a reference to the Emerald Tablet, you'll take a moment to reflect on how its wisdom weaves into your own story. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Until next time, keep exploring the connections that shape you.